Welcome to Boy Time Podcast. We're gonna get litty time, yeah. Oh, it's your Boy Time Podcast. Coming in with the slam dunk of a theme song.
Hi ho ho, it's me, Chaco Sunny, back at it again with a new episode of the Boy Time Podcast. And as always, I'm joined by Babby and Paul.
Hello.
We actually have a slam dunk episode for you this week. I know last week I said that it was a three-pointer shot, and that one was. But this actually was a pretty eventful week, factually, in terms of pop culture news stuff. I think most notably the Nintendo Direct happened on Thursday. I know we're going to talk a lot about that. But we also got the Netflix event today, as of us recording it Saturday.
Saw a die.
So we do have some news in the Netflix realm, just a little bit, but yeah, I got some exciting stuff. So start off. I know Paul has a little bit of a mini update from
Indeed.
some of the things that we talked about last week in the Paul update section. So go ahead and spit your fire, young one.
Today was the third day at a job at Come and Go.
Oh yes, come and go.
Did you come and or go?
No.
You didn't
I
go.
only
You're
go.
recording it from Come and Go
I
Industries.
only goed.
Oh, okay.
I just goed.
Just good. Okay. How is the job?
It is very nice. It is a lot more than what you'd expect it. Well, when you think of a gas station, you think of just cashier, and maybe cleaning, but there is a lot more that you gotta do. You gotta memorize the 50 different brands of cigarettes,
Oh,
cigars, jewels.
That's the worst.
You gotta do the IDing people, and it's actually a bit easier because for alcohol and tobacco products, it's both 21 in Iowa. I honestly thought tobacco was 18, but
They just changed it.
Wasn't
It's
that recently?
federal.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, it made my job a little easier, so.
that's true. I guess that is a
Thank you.
plus. Yeah, when I used to work at a gas station, the cigarettes and stuff was always the worst. I also hated doing lottery stuff.
I actually have gotten the hang of that. I don't know. How did you have to do your lottery stuff?
We had like a little kiosk thing that it was like we had like all the different types of lotteries there were, and then we could do like number of plays and like number of numbers.
Draws, I think.
Number of draws, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually gotten the hang of that. I think I'm pretty confident that it's not actually too bad once you get
Good,
doing
because
it.
I never was.
Yeah, it was rough for me.
That was the worst part.
Yeah, I famously scammed the lead singer of Slipknot's wife by messing it
Nice.
up. Yeah.
But yeah, there's that. There's also the scratch cards. There's like 20 different ones of those.
Oh,
and,
yeah. Yeah.
and then you have all the, you have like cleaning you can do. You have like refilling cups. You have, I think this might just be a job that they give one person per shift, but you get to go behind the like fridges and refill them.
Oh, yeah.
I did that a bit yesterday. It's actually pretty fun because you like slide them
magical.
down the little thing.
Yeah.
It is like 30 degrees in there, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I always
cat
like
just jumped
that.
up. Everything ruined. Anyways.
So you enjoying it?
Oh yeah.
Good.
It's actually I'll be honest, if I was paid a Jimmy John wage, which was that not what was that we got paid?
When
Was that minimum wage? I
No,
thought
it was
minimum
9.
wage.
No.
I was 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Better than minimum wage, but not much.
better than the federal. Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
might be Iowa's minimum wage is 9.
That's $7.25.
I think that's federal. I don't
That's
know what.
federal.
I don't know
No, I'm
what.
pretty sure it's
Iowa's.
Iowa's.
Iowa's might be the same, but I know
It-
that like a
yeah.
lot of fast food places when we were
$7.25.
starting up. Okay. So
Yeah.
we were paid 9. I think now they pay 11.
Hmm.
If you were to go back.
The big jump. But
Big
no,
jump.
like I don't. This would be like a big. I don't know how much Comico used to pay. Like I don't know 2 years ago, but like I think $9 just wouldn't be enough to do that job. But I think 14's a pretty good amount.
No, I think gas
I actually
stations
kind of like
usually
doing
paid.
it.
When I worked at Hy-Vee, I think they paid me either 12 or 13. I only worked there a couple months though.
I think they pay about 15 now.
Okay, well that's good.
Maybe.
That would not surprise me. I know.
Oh wait, no,
income
they
has
still
been going
pay.
up
They
a
pay
little bit.
12. Actually, if I remember.
What a coward.
Yeah.
Hy-Vee. It was probably 12 then. I don't know if they've changed it.
Yeah, I know. You could do the like shop for people and deliver it. That paid 15, but that paid 15 as in you have to find hours to work, and then you have to hope you have constant people wanting food and stuff. So I mean.
Yeah, I think that's what I was getting paid when I worked at the warehouse for one day, and then the entire plant shut down.
Oh yeah.
But who even remembers?
I actually remember.
I only worked there for one day. I do not blame you. I sometimes don't even remember.
After all that, they also actually have you do the kitchen. So I did the kitchen today for what was it, 6 hours or so.
How was that?
I learned how to make the pizza. I learned how to make a couple sandwiches.
Oh, okay.
And I actually got pretty good at it once we got going.
So you're a chef now.
Oh, I am indeed a chef now. I can make
culinary god.
like 4 flavors of pizza and 3 sandwiches and a burrito.
Are you hiding a rat in your hat?
There's I didn't learn how to make any of the cold sandwiches, but other than that, I'm pretty much good.
Well, that's good.
I mean, it's not that hard, I'm sure.
Still, it takes a whole lot of mental fortitude and will.
Yeah. God, I have to put the ham on the lettuce.
Yeah, that is it's good that you found something. Good that you. Yeah. I know you've been searching for stuff for a while, so.
Yeah, and I mean, like, it is obviously it's like physically demanding because you're standing, and I'm technically part-time, but I was like, hey, give me all the hours you can, so I'm working at 8-hour shifts, although today was a 7-hour, but. And so it is killer on the legs, but unlike what I could do before, now I can say, hey, I'm getting paid like more than almost like $100 a day to do this. I think I'm fine.
Yeah.
You get paid more than me, so.
Yeah.
Well, you're just.
Because I mean, I've worked there 3 days, and I think I calculated like $340 something.
Is that with tax?
Without tax, but I mean, it sounds better without tax.
It does sound better.
It does.
I always do without tax.
Gas station jobs are pretty killer.
Yeah.
But they are. I remember it was very physically demanding, and then like even when nobody was there, we were like not allowed to sit anywhere. Like there was a chair in the back, and our manager was such a hard ass that he was just like, you cannot sit down. If a customer comes in and sees you sitting down, it sets a bad reputation for the entire company. I was like, all right, you kind of need to chill with that.
Having cashiers not sit as like an American culture thing
is
that
like
sucks.
The
worst thing possible.
I know. I think
I was
Aldi
actually,
does it. Aldi lets
I think
people
I was
sit.
actually thinking my first day, like, there's so much space back here. Just give me a little like wooden stool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, I don't get why more places don't. Like, is that like a thing that like culturally back in the day it was like disrespectful to sit down when you were working?
I know in other countries, like checkout lines literally have built-in stools so people can sit and check out your groceries like a normal human. And when I was like working as a grocery checker-outer guy, I'm 6'1", and the machines are made for people that are like less than, like probably a foot shorter than me.
Right.
So my neck would kill me after every shift because I had to look down at everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can't sit down because that's lazy. Yeah.
That is stupid. I know some stores near us, like I think like Aldi, which I think I thought that was a local place, but I've heard some people from LA talk about Aldi, so it might be a national chain. I don't know.
Aldi's national.
Okay. They usually have people. They let their cashiers sit down.
Aldi's just a good company in general.
Yeah, and they like make you bring your own bags and like so they don't have any waste. They're pretty cool. So.
Oh yeah, I also got a rejection email from them today.
Oh,
The application I sent like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know. I got rejected from them too this summer.
I've gotten rejection emails from like jobs I've applied for 3 months ago.
Oh, great. Well, at least they're saying something.
I guess.
But yeah, I looked it up and yeah, pretty much the reason is it's seen as unprofessional and people standing in line trying to cash out. They're seeing the cashier sitting down. They're like, man, why do they get to sit down? I'm standing here
working.
with groceries in a cart. Come on. And that's
How dare I can't verbally berate them when they're sitting down instead of standing up.
Yeah,
It's
honestly,
so unfair.
I hope that like give it like 20 years and like all the old people who grew up with that like stigma kind of like die out. Just like, can we let people sit down? Like, who cares? Nobody cares. And then the Karens are just going to be old, so who cares, you know?
Exactly.
We can
when
just-
they're just old people, you got to be like, okay, that's nice.
Yeah, you can kneecap an old person like really easily. They'll have like no power.
But yeah, I actually, from what I've heard, the store manager of the store that I'm gonna be going to, so they train for 5 days, and so I have tomorrow and Monday, and then I'll be going to the actual store I'm gonna work at. Apparently, there's the store manager there is newer, and apparently she's pretty good. So,
Well, that's good. We'll have to
from what I've
let
heard.
us know how that goes.
Younger
next
managers are always better.
week. That is true. Ask Shane.
90% of the time.
I mean, I don't know if she was actually. Now that I remember, she actually yesterday came into this store, and I didn't get a good look at her or anything, but I was cleaning, and she said, "Hey, you're going to my," or she was like being pointed out like a couple of the trainees that were going to meet going to work with her, and so they were kind of talking about that, and I could hear them from behind me.
Mm-hmm.
She sounded pretty nice.
Well, that's good. You'll have to fill us in next week how the job goes working on site.
Yeah.
Jesus style. Yep. Speaking of Jesus, let's get into news. News roundup. This is actually going to be a good transition. You got to trust me. We're going to go into the movie news. This happened at the Netflix event today. There's a Kanye West documentary. I think this is how it's pronounced. Genius. It's it's spelled phonetically. So JEEN -YUHS. So just genius. Genius, the popular lyric website, but spelled a little bit sillily.
For copyright reasons, I'm sure.
I'm sure. That's going to be on Netflix soon, TM. I got just a general description. Said to cover his start as a rapper and up-and-coming businessman into his transformation to global brand and 2020 presidential candidate. So, I guess that's pretty interesting. I would just like to bring up that this is redundant because Jay Aubrey already made a Kanye West documentary. And
so
really
is
good.
every other video YouTuber, freaking video essay man on the planet.
Yes,
so.
But I really like Jay Aubrey's, so I just wanted to shout that one out.
Yeah, this is pretty good. We did know about this, by the way. I brought it up.
You brought it up?
I think. Yes.
Oh, okay, so this was just the first trailer for it?
Yeah, there was rumors of it happening, so.
Okay.
It's just confirmation, I guess. But
yeah, the trailer was like him and Mos Def rapping something.
It was last words from the registration.
Oh, okay.
Or
Not
2
super...
words, sorry.
It's okay. I wouldn't know the difference.
They're going to bully me?
No, they won't.
That should be interesting.
Yeah. I actually put that in movie news. I think that's a movie and not a show.
It's a doc, I think. So
Yeah.
Unless they split it into episodes, which I think I would like better personally.
Netflix does do that with the Making a Murderer and Tiger King and stuff, but those are different
With Kanye,
kinds
you
of
could probably make
documentary.
like a 15-episode doc.
Yeah,
There's a lot of content there.
true. I don't know. The rest of the Netflix stuff is in show news, and I did want to bring up a movie that I watched today called Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. I didn't know much about this movie. I had heard it get brought up in discussion of like best movies of the 2010s, but aside from that, it's not one that I see referenced a lot. It has Frances McDormand of Fargo fame, and she was in Nomadland. I feel like I'm gonna get flack for this, but Nomadland was probably the worst Oscar Best Picture nom, and it won for Best Picture in 2020. I get that 2020 wasn't the strongest year ever, but also Judas and the Black Messiah and Mank were both nominated, and they got robbed. I just had to throw that in there. And so I watched this movie, really flipping good. I think I'm going to add it to the... I think I'm I'm thinking of like making a list of movies and like projects that should replace the American citizenship test, because everyday American citizens don't like know how many seats are in like Congress and how many votes you need for like a supermajority, but American citizens or people who want to be American citizens should watch the Shawshank Redemption and Moonlight, and now I think they should watch Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, because that is a movie that about how a local police station just absolutely did not do their due diligence when it came to a rape murder case of a 17-year-old girl in Ebbing, Missouri. And Frances McDormand plays the daughter's mom, and she puts up 3 billboards that says it's like she was raped while she was dying. Still no arrests have been made 7 months later. Police chief, why is that? And it's just like, ooh, okay. So it's like a big battle between the police and Frances McDormand's character. And it's very, very good. I would highly recommend it. I don't really want to get into spoilers because I just recommend people to watch it. So do that. IGGY boy, do that, as Iggy Azalea would say. And now we'll just go on to the show news, finish up that Netflix event. First thing I wanted to talk about is that the teaser for Ozark Season 4 released today. Something that we didn't know. I don't think this was announced, but it is going to be the final season of Ozark. Good, yeah. I don't know why that is. I don't know if Netflix canceled it or if the showrunner decided that this would be the last one, but this is the last one. Did you watch the trailer?
No, I just read the recap of it. I didn't watch it.
Okay. This is
I had the
one
basic idea of what was happening.
Yeah. I guess spoilers for Ozark. Just skip ahead like 2 minutes. The trailer starts off and it's Marty and Wendy, and they're at the Navarro castle thing, and it's it's really like a minute of them just trying to get the brain matter out of their hair and wash up, and then they look behind them and something's there and it cuts off and it just says Season 4 Parts 1 and 2 streaming in 2022, which means that they're going to split it up in 2 parts, which I guess is okay, but a little bit disappointing.
That's just that final season COVID protocol right there.
It's fine. It's just I would have liked the whole season to drop at once like they do with Stranger Things and stuff, but
yeah, I think that's a COVID thing.
It might be. That's true.
Because
Yeah. That is possible. But at least we're getting them both in 2022. So probably one in the spring, one in the fall, if I was to guess. But that could be wrong. There was no dates other than just the year.
Wasn't a lot of dates today, we're saying.
There was not. Not for, I don't think any of the Netflix stuff. I didn't see the Stranger Things thing. Babby also
There was
didn't
no
see.
date.
There was no date? Okay. So
No,
there
that
was
the
like
only
no
reason
dates.
I cared. I didn't see it because I don't care. I just want to watch it. But there was
Yeah.
no date, so. Oh well.
Weird. Yeah. Something that concerns all of us here, actually. The opening credits for the Cowboy Bebop live action was released in the Netflix event today. It's pretty similar to the original. Our buddy Grant, who's a big weeb, sent me the side-by-side of the original anime and the live-action one. They're pretty similar, but the live-action one, I don't know if this was because they released it ahead of time or if it's actually how it's going to be when the show releases, but I noticed, like, in the opening credits, there was, like, that couple that was in the first episode. Then there was, like, that, I think this was, like, in the second episode where, like, there was that, like, terrorist group that dressed up as, like, SEALs or something. I think that they showed that in, like, the opening credits. So, like, they're showing, like, specific episodes. They showed Data Dog. They showed the 3 people that were already cast. Still no Ed, which I think is a little weird.
I think they'll be in season 2 if they split it.
Oh, are they splitting it?
I don't know. It took like 10 episodes for that character to show up.
Yeah.
It was episode 10, if I remember.
Yeah,
That's
it was
true.
late.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do for that. I don't know if they are splitting it up. I don't really know most of the details about this show.
But also, I don't know how you make that character in a live action setting.
I don't know.
They literally
They should
do not
just
know how
cut
to
it.
make it.
They should just cut it because I think it's going to be really awkward if they do it.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you can't make a character that animated in live action.
Not really, no.
So
So,
be someone really nimble.
yeah.
Like,
A little kid
flying
that's very
around the
nimble.
screen.
Yeah. They could probably do it. It just wouldn't look
Yeah, they'd be
very
able
good.
to hang from the pipe on the ceiling on their
Yeah.
feet.
They'll just CGI it. Yeah, I don't know. It looked fine. It was fine. Like I don't really have any notes about it. It was just like, okay, this is the original credits, just with the live action twist and some more references to specific episodes, which wasn't in the original one.
Looked pretty faithful, though.
Yeah, it did. Like I don't really care too much to just like compare it to the original and be like, oh,
Yeah.
it's bad because it is different.
Right.
So
That's this whole... And just going through Twitter, viewing all of it, I think this is an anime thing where people just hate incredibly as soon as they touch any series that is beloved.
yeah, especially this one. I can
That's
see.
the general vibe. But
Yeah.
I mean, when Cowboy Bebop has arguably one of the best openings of any TV show ever,
Yeah.
you have to kind of, But I think they did it pretty well.
No.
Everything
yeah.
else looks kind of cool about it. I doubt it's going to be that good, but they're doing a good job with like costume design and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was pretty impressed. Like they showed some like the ship like launching from the like aircraft carrier thing they have, and it looked pretty good. I didn't have any complaints, but
Yeah.
I think it was a smart move to release the opening credits first because I think that's what most people are curious about, especially with Cowboy Bebop's opening credit being so notable. I think that was a pretty good
I
idea.
mean, Spike's character looks pretty good.
Yeah, I like John
down
Cho.
with that.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I didn't like the poster, but that's
I
like
haven't
the only
seen the
thing.
poster.
It's just like typical like shooter video game cover kind of in movie form.
Oh, really?
But the thing I like about Bebop and its animation is that all the poses and freaking stances of the characters is nuts.
Right.
You don't really get that on the poster. So
No, yeah, this is kind of lame.
yeah, that's the only thing that I was like kind of like, but
Yeah. I saw that, like, leading up to this, like, when the chick that's... Her name is Faye, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the chick that's playing her, like people were mad at like the production still because she didn't like have her tits out like the anime girl does all the time, and she was like, do you want that? Like I'm not gonna do that.
That
Just,
would not work.
No.
Actually, that outfit would not work in live action.
no.
But
I
again, we
dig
are
it.
talking about anime fans here. Sometimes they need to touch grass.
Yeah. I'm not
What are you talking
defending
about? They
them.
never touch grass.
Well, I know, but they need to.
Yeah. So we got that today. And the other thing, I don't know if you guys would really know anything about this. I've been silently following this because I'm a little bit curious. But the first look for the Sandman show was released today. Not the Spider-Man character,
Mr.
the Sandman. Of course, played perfectly in Spider-Man 3. I'm talking about the DC graphic novel
Ooh, yeah, I just don't care now.
written by Neil Gaiman. Now,
I love Neil Diamond.
not Neil Diamond. I don't think you would want this.
I don't want it
by
anyways.
Neil Diamond. I've heard this compared to Watchmen. It has that reputation. It was released like Watchmen as like a big book, so it's not like, I don't know. It's not like a DC comic, you know. But Neil Gaiman is a fantasy writer. He wrote. I think his biggest books are Coraline, which of course was, turned into the film. And then this book is like two of his most famous. I'm not an avid reader, so I couldn't really tell you. I know he's a pretty popular author though. But this isn't like Watchmen is pretty grounded in like social events that actually happened. This one's more of a fantasy. So like I think the whole crux of it is that like they like there's a group of people that try to summon death, but then his character is named Dream.
Yes, dude.
But you're interested now?
Yeah.
Minecraft Dream?
I actually wrote down the essence of dreams just to try to get around it, but there's no skirting around it. The character's name is Dream. I think I haven't read it. I would really like to because it has that Watchmen status of being like a really solid just book. But it just kind of like deals with like the subconscious, and it's a whole lot more heady, I think. So I've heard that they were making a show. I've been a little bit worried, but Neil Gaiman is, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It's either Gaiman or Gaiman. It's Gaiman. Gaimond. Neil Gaiman, whatever. I'm just going to keep pronouncing it that. And if I'm butchering it, then you can leave me a hate email at boytimebusiness@gmail.com.
Oh, I will. I already have multiple times. I'm actually regular.
Okay,
It's true.
That's not true. I do check that email. I have that email forwarding to my personal email, so I have not gotten an email from that email account yet.
Such a liar.
Okay.
Don't believe this guy.
I did say, so more of a fantasy about summoning death to the human realm, but accidentally summoning the essence of dreams. Then I wrote in parentheses, think Shark Boy and Lava Girl, which I just more of a thing to make me laugh than anybody else. Because I don't think that these two should be compared at all.
Just confused me.
But yeah, I think they released a trailer for it. It looks really weird and kind of creepy, which I think the book is. It has someone from Game of Thrones. I forgot to mention that Peter Dinklage is in 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. That should have been my lead-in. He's not in The Sandman, but someone else from Game of Thrones. I think they play the main character. Or I don't know exactly. I need to read the book, so I don't know. But then they released the production stills for Dream, Desire, and Death. They're all like cousins or something. I don't know. It looked weird and cool and quirky, but no date for that either, and that's I think gonna be
Big
a show.
surprise.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that was all the stuff that I cared about for the Netflix thing. There was a Stranger Things trailer. I didn't see it. I'm just gonna watch the show when it drops. But we do have some other show news, kind of small little tidbit thingies. I've been covering the Lord of the Rings show that is going to be dropping on Amazon, I believe next year or the year after. But Howard Shore is in talks to compose the score for that show. His other notable works are the Peter Jackson Lord of the Rings movies. So if it's up to that level, then we got a banger incoming, because that's like one of the best fantasy film scores, if not just best film scores ever. So that's pretty good news, I think. Jeff Bezos apparently just promised him a ride into space, I heard. Got him on Blue Origin 2.
He's trying to kill him.
Yeah, yeah. And then the other little bit of show news, there was a little bit of I think it was like a Disney announcement for a Disney conference coming up. But there is a Boba Fett special. I don't know exactly. They didn't specify. But that is coming to Disney Plus along with another special that is going behind the scenes of Marvel and Star Wars. So I don't know exactly what this is. I don't think we got a date for it, but I think it's coming in November. So I don't know exactly what this Boba Fett special is. I know that the Boba Fett show is coming out, I think, in December or later this year, I think. We haven't heard anything about it, so it might actually get delayed. I'm just going to Babe Ruth call it before it actually happens, just like Battlefield.
Everything else we talk about.
And everything else we talk about. So we'll see. But that's coming out soon. And that's all I have for show and movie news. My Who Asked for This news actually goes into Nintendo Direct stuff. So we'll just get into gaming news.
Okay.
It's
Do we want
actually-
to do Invader Zim review before or after?
Oh, frick. Yes, we need to do the Invader Zim. That should be a part of the show. We've finished Invader Zim this week. Kind of started and finished it. Like, it was pretty short.
Like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Week and a half. Something.
But we finished it. We watched the movie Enter the Floorbus, I believe it's called. We watched that yesterday. So what did you think? The whole show?
I've seen the whole show multiple times.
Oh, so what do I think of the whole show?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know you had seen the whole thing.
Oh yeah, I've seen it multiple times.
Oh, okay. I think it's really good. I was pretty delightfully surprised. I knew that you enjoyed this show. I've heard a lot of, having gone to film college, met a lot of animators. A lot of people talk about this show as being influential, and I can definitely see why.
Incredibly so.
Yeah. I think the idea itself is just so brilliant. I'm surprised we haven't seen any other mainstream IP kind of pick it up, where there's an alien comes to Earth and he's going to try to destroy all of the humans and take over the planet, and so he has to but he's disguised and sucks at it. It's
He's an idiot.
it's such a brilliant idea, and the leaders that sent him on the mission also kind of hate him and sabotaged him from the get-go, but he also just sucks. So everything he ever does is so lame. It's just he'll just throw rats in people's window, and it's I'm starting a disease or something. It's no, not really. And we never see any repercussions of that. So it's just it's so funny. It's really good.
It's a brilliant show.
Yeah.
I'm glad it held up. I probably haven't watched it in 10 years, even though I remembered every single episode as soon as it started. Because I was I didn't know from the thumbnails or anything.
Yeah.
But like as soon as the episode started, I could remember like most of the dialogue.
Man, it's very memorable, and I think there is a lot of like great characters. Like, I love. There's just the NPC nature of like all of the the people, where like Zim's disguise is he just puts on a wig and then wears like contact lenses that give him like human eyes, but his skin is still green. So like immediately everybody would know that he's an alien. Like he has 3 fingers. It's so obvious. But like everyone it's just like, oh, that's him. He just has like a skin issue. And like even like parts where like I think this was in the movie, but like his eye contact things fall out, and then like his neighbors are like, there's an alien next door, and then he puts them back in, and it's like, oh, never mind. Just like everyone's just as stupid as Zim, and it's just like the one normal person is like this crazy paranormal like investigator kid, and everybody thinks he's a stupid idiot. It's
a large head.
Which you don't. That's the one thing I didn't like about the show. They really rode that joke into the ground. When his head isn't even that big, like compared to everyone else. Like Zim probably has the same body proportions, but they just really hate Dib, and they're just like, why is his head so big? Like, I'm pretty sure his sister has a bigger head, like body proportion wise, but nobody calls her out on it. But maybe that's just because she'd kill them.
It's great.
Yeah. I very much enjoyed the show. If you have a Paramount Plus subscription, which I don't frankly know why you would have one.
Yeah, don't get one.
I would. This is the VHS master. We should probably say that.
Not remastered.
No.
Just straight from the VHS. The first few episodes were so grainy at the credits that you couldn't read the voice actors' names. And the audio sounded like it was double tracked, like through a line of static from the actual VHS tape. So,
yeah.
Which, there could have been worse shows for it to happen to. This one fit pretty well, I think.
No,
I think I have the DVD of this whole show. It'd be interesting.
I wonder if that would be better. We'll have to see.
Because I'm pretty sure I have the whole series. I would assume so, because back in the day I couldn't just watch this on demand, and I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
But character design is absolutely genius in this show. Some of the best character design I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Made me want to be an animator when I was a wee little lad. It's just so simple, but like, man, you don't really get stuff like that early on that's that memorable unless you're talking Simpsons or stuff. No. SpongeBob was just getting going.
Yeah, that was like early 2000s, right?
2001, yeah.
2000, yeah. You weren't even getting that in a whole lot of like Disney movies.
No.
Like stuff.
But the whole dystopian format, awesome. The whole art style and how like disturbing and eerie everything was, but also like cutesy and like anime inspired almost.
Yeah.
It's like perfect.
Which comes up in the movie.
Yes. The movie's animation was great.
The movie starts off with an anime opening.
Yes. Classic.
Which was very jarring to me. I was not expecting that at all. I think actually this kind of has like an Evangelion like vibe to it, where the show is like good and the movie was actually really good. I was surprised just how good the movie is. Like shows get canceled and then they make a movie of it 15 years later, and you get a little worried. Yeah.
Something like that.
But no, it was good.
Yeah.
Was it Jonan Vasquez? That's the creator, showrunner, man. Very good job.
It was a little clean, but that's just modern cartoons.
Yeah, but they mixed it up. Like
they did, yeah.
I was worried when it first started out in like Dib's house, it looked a little clean, but then like as we went to the other areas, it kind of went back to that original style, which I did enjoy.
I think when Zim and everything were on screen, like the voice actors are very emotive.
Yes.
So with the new animation style, it works a lot better, and I was very impressed. Like, man, you could literally make another show and nothing stop being right now. Come on.
Well, I
I
don't
would
know.
like a reboot of this show.
I don't know how the licensing works.
Yeah, I don't know how
now.
any of that works, but
Yeah.
with what I was seeing in the movie, I would not be mad at like a new launch of this show.
No, I wouldn't mind.
I know there'd
that.
be a whole fan base ready for it, and now with streaming services, you don't need to worry about target ranges that are way out of your target range.
Right. I think the only thing is if Jonan Vasquez decided that he wanted to keep doing it. I know he's not doing very much. Like, you're looking at his IMDb page, it doesn't look like he's been like doing any other animated shows or anything. I think if they were to reboot it, you got to get that guy. I don't think it would feel
for
the
sure.
same.
No, yeah, I wouldn't want the show unless it was main cast still. And they had everybody from main cast for the movie, which
Yeah.
was made like more than 15 years later. So
Lucky nobody died.
yeah,
Yeah.
15 years, you know, who knows what he can do.
the only cartoon I could relate it to is like Flapjack.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Very
Flapjack
listening.
is just as dirty.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like this one because they just openly kill children
They
with
do.
like no repercussions or like reason.
But
The
it's
whole
okay.
thing is just incredibly unhinged, but it's like one of the most entertaining shows.
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure there was like a moment in season, I think this was on the holiday special, where they straight up make like a Nazi flag, but it's
Yeah.
like a Santa thing. And it's like, okay, I'm starting to get why this show is canceled.
Christmas special is so good too.
It was. I enjoyed it.
That was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Honestly, I think like season 2, if it didn't get canceled, it was like getting set up to be like one of the best.
Yeah, they started having recurring episodes and getting themes going like normal cartoons would. They were well on their way, and then bop,
Yeah. I think
done.
I think especially when it comes to animated shows, you need that first season to kind of set the template of what's going on. I think the perfect example of that is Phineas and Ferb, where it's like the first season of that show is setting up the format, where it's like, you know, the boys make something, the sister wants to, you know, bust them every time. When the mom gets there, it gets taken away because Perry the Platypus and Dr. Doofenshmirtz are battling. And so that whole first season, it's establishing that pattern, just like inserting different things that happen in the Perry the Platypus arc and what they're building. And then in season 2, that's where they start like mixing it up and doing like weirdo like arcs and stuff.
Yeah,
and
you get
that
deep into arcs.
yeah. And I think that's what was about to happen with Zim. Because that was like, in the first season, it was establishing, like, okay, Zim is trying to destroy the planet. Dib is trying to save the planet. You know, hilarity ensues. And then, yeah, you just start getting more, like, actual, like, arcs that mean something that affect the rest of the show. And then it gets canceled, like, 8 episodes in.
Yep.
It's like,
And
oh,
season 1 was actually really good compared to like other season 1s of other shows.
yeah. Yeah.
There was a lot more promise in there and taking risks and doing an episode about just watching someone eat waffles for 12 minutes, which was one of the best ones.
Yeah, I did enjoy that one a lot. Which
A lot of memorable ones. Like you had the freaking Mall Cop one. The Christmas special is amazing. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah. We should probably bring up that Brian Konietzko worked on this show, who, of course, went on to make Avatar with DiMartino. So I thought that was kind of funny. Like, just randomly, it would be like storyboard by Brian Konietzko. And it's like, oh, we know this one's going to be a good one. And he worked on the waffle one. It's like, okay, so it's just you're storyboarding Zim eating waffles. Did we really need to break out Brian Konietzko?
It was
for
comedy gold.
that? It was funny. I think that was one of my favorite episodes. But you didn't need to really storyboard a whole lot. Yeah.
That one just has a lot of rewatching value, the whole series and everything. So
Yeah.
definitely one to check out if you haven't seen it yet. A
Right.
classic.
It is a classic. I think it should be admitted into the Criterion Collection. Speaking of Criterion Collection, we watched the pilot for Twin Peaks like 30 minutes
Hour
ago.
ago. Yeah.
Something like that. Actually, yeah, we've been recording for 45 minutes already, so about an hour ago. What'd you think? The pilot for Twin Peaks.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, the pilot is about an hour and a half long, so it's pretty much a movie. I didn't know that, but I think it's pretty good. I'm starting to remember why I like this show so much.
I'm just a sucker for a good mystery show.
Yeah, that's
Even
what you're
when it's
gonna
a
get.
cheesy '90s kind of like setup. But
That's what the setup is.
yeah,
It,
I know it's about to get off the rails though. So
yeah, it definitely feels like that. And I was watching the whole time, and I'm like, how did? Because I just watched Eraserhead like a couple weeks ago. Like, how does David Lynch go from one of the weirdest like avant-garde art movies I've ever seen to this show? So we'll see. I haven't seen all of it. I've just seen the first season.
you got to go save for the pilot.
It's a little.
And you gotta, that was very of the time.
Yes.
Seemed of the time.
It's the pilot, and the first season came out in 1990. The second season came out in 1991. So they really kind of pushed this out, yeah. And then it lay dormant for many moons. So I thoroughly enjoy this show, at least the stuff I've seen so far. I really like Kyle MacLachlan's FBI agent Cooper.
Yes.
Kyle MacLachlan is just a national treasure, I think.
It's a breath of fresh air after what we've gone through with Ozark.
Yeah. I don't know if it's going to stay like that because, there is a
Probably
potential
not,
for
but
murder.
it was just nice for an episode at least.
Yeah. I don't know who Diane is. I don't know if it's ever explained. But I guess we'll see. I don't know. But he does like to talk to Diane on the tape recorder. And
I'm fine with another like BoJack, like freaking what was her name, Erica or something.
Erica?
Mr. Peanut Butter would do that all the time, and then you'd never know who the character is. I like that.
I know there is a book. There's like 3 or 4 books that are canon to the Twin Peaks, and if you're like super into Twin Peaks, like it's a very important part of the story. And I think like technically you're supposed to read one of them in between season 1 and 2. So I was looking up the order earlier today. And there, one of the books is an autobiography of the FBI agent Cooper. So there's like...
Ain't no way I'm reading though. I'll just look up YouTube.
Yeah, I'm not really interested. I think we're gonna watch the show. There's 2 movies, and then we're gonna watch season 3 that came out 4 years ago. That one is on Showtime though, so we won't be able to do the watch party, unfortunately. But I do have Showtime, so don't worry about that. So yeah, we will fill you guys in as that goes. We may or may not finish Twin Peaks by next time. I think there's 8 episodes in season 1, and if we we'll either just be finishing it or be one short on next Saturday.
Yes.
If I'm doing my math correctly.
Correct.
So we'll see. That's as far as I've gotten. And then I'm in the dark. So, we'll see. So now we'll move on to gaming news.
Gaming.
We'll get into the gaming news that is not a part of the Nintendo Direct, because that kind of needs its own thing. For obvious reasons, if you are familiar with what happened in the Nintendo Direct.
If you are familiar with living as a human and being online.
Yes, familiar with Chris Pratt's IMDb page.
Yes.
That's a little bit of a sneak peek. But we had some not Nintendo news happen this week. Quantic Dream, which I don't know if you are familiar with Quantic Dream, they made Heavy Rain and Detroit Become Human. They are
Bangers.
They are an absolute slam dunk of a studio. I played half of Detroit Become Human, and it got too confusing for me. But I did enjoy that first half. I should probably go back and play it.
Isn't that just a like story, like QuickTime event game? How did you get like confused?
I think there's like 3 different characters in that game that you play, and it gets all wonky.
It does get a little wonky.
Okay.
And also, this is a little bit of a critique. I only liked one of them. Ooh. And you have to play through all three of them. So it's like you would play like an episode from each character's like life. So you'd play like the FBI, or not the FBI guy, but there's like one of them that's a cop, and he's the one that's in all the memes. And then there's another one who's like a servant to like an abusive household. And then there's another one. I don't even. Oh, the second one is like the assistant to a, like painter, and they're all androids. Not androids. That's the right word.
From Detroit.
Right.
They're gonna become human.
Well, maybe. I don't know. I haven't finished a game.
That's why Heavy Rain is about rain.
Yes, and Sean. I think if you can, every game should just have press X to yell Sean.
Yes.
I would love that. But Quantic Dream, I think news came out a couple years ago that they were looking to sever their Sony exclusivity deal. They have been a PlayStation exclusive company since they've been around on the PS3. They were looking to sever that. People were kind of speculating what that meant. We kind of got an announcement what that meant. They are reportedly making a Star Wars game. So that was kind of out of left field. I did not expect that at all. And it appears to be not their style. So it isn't like the QuickTime events, kind of your choices will matter. It appears to be a traditional action-adventure Star Wars game, which I have no idea why, or if this is even true. I should probably preface this that these have been big-name leakers that have come out and said stuff, but like I'm talking like big-name game publications have been talking about it and like publishing it.
Well, that's what they do when leaks come out usually.
Yeah. That's why I'm prefacing it. I'm not saying that this is 100% fact. We have not heard any official word from Quantic Dream or the main guy in Quantic Dream. I can't remember his name, but he's like kind of like a Todd Howard. He's like the face of the company. But I've seen like, and again, this is just, video game publications being video game publications, but they have just been like 100% fact this is happening. I wouldn't go that far, but I have more journalistic integrity than most video game publications. So,
actually true.
Yeah. So yeah, a little bit weird. I will say that the leakers that have reported on this are pretty credible. I did do some digging into their past work, and most of the stuff that they have leaked have come to fruition in one way or the other. So we will probably be hearing something about a Quantic Dream Star Wars game, whether it's the traditional action-adventure gameplay, which I'm actually kind of skeptical about. That
I'd rather
Quantic
just have
Dream
their normal style.
Yeah, if they're going to do it, which honestly I'm not entirely for, like, I don't really know how you do that in, like, a way that's meaningful. But I think I saw an interview with the guy from Quantic Dream, who I should probably look it up because he's an important person in the gaming industry. Whether you think he's a madman or a stupid idiot. David Cage. Yeah. I saw an interview with David Cage, kind of disproving this whole thing because he has kind of like been very open towards the fact of not wanting to hop on pre-existing IPs. He is in the game industry to make original stories and like tell have like messages and stories that he kind of wants to tell on the audience. One of them, I guess. Yes. I haven't played any of his other games, the Heavy Rain, and then there's what's that? It has is Elliot Page in that one? That
Juno. I think,
Juno, is that what it's called? I think that's a movie.
Oh yeah, that's the movie he was in.
What the frick was the? I know, I can't think of it. Donkey made a video about it. It has the Spider-Man thing in it. Let me look up. I can just is Is it Beyond Two Souls? Is that what it is?
Ooh, yeah. I thought
Yeah.
there was a name title to it, but I think that's the one.
It says Beyond Two Souls. This has Elliot Page in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm combining the movie and the game.
You might, because Juno's the one with Michael Cera.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, Jason okay, I'm getting on a sidetrack. Jason Bateman is also in that movie with Michael Cera. Yeah, so I don't know. Obviously, we haven't heard anything. I've just seen a lot of rumbling around, and I wanted to do some digging and be a fun journalist for a hot second. So, we'll see. You know. Next thing, Overwatch 2, another one bites the dust, if you will, Queen style. Another project lead left Blizzard. Chaco Sonny. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. But basically, as Jeff Overwatch took a little bit of a spill, took a little bit of a tumble out of Blizzard's company, I guess, Chaco Sonny took his place, and he left Blizzard too. Probably a good move in the long run.
Oh, for sure.
How this game?
I don't know if this game's gonna come out. Like, what is happening?
They just released a couple updates today.
Yeah.
I didn't talk about it because it was like Nerf news. Like,
yeah, it's just character balance.
Yeah. Whether or not this game comes out, is it even gonna be good? It's going through 3 project leads at this point.
No.
Yeah.
It would be a miracle if it came out good. It looked promising, but then Jeff Overwatch dipped.
Jeff Overwatch, yeah, it's looking less hopeful for Overwatch 2 being good, but we'll just have to see. They're still trucking, I guess. But I just saw that and I just kind of chuckled, like, oh boy, another one. Last bit of gaming news before we get to the Nintendo Direct. There is a Disney Classic Games collection that is announced for PS4, Xbox, and Switch, which has the SNES versions of Aladdin, Lion King, and Jungle Book. Don't have a lot to say about it, but I've heard that the Aladdin game is pretty good, and the Lion King I remember being a slammer when I played that one. So I don't remember the Jungle Book game at all. So pretty cool.
I think I do, but I don't remember too much about it. It's probably good.
Yeah. So I know people were mad that the Genesis version of Aladdin wasn't included, and those people need to die. I don't care. I don't mean that. I did want to drop a quick review. I recently got a chance to play the Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut, which is, I guess, what Sony is doing now. When they want to make DLC, they just slap on the Director's Cut and change minimal things. That's what they're doing with Death Stranding, and that's what they just did for Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima I have a rocky history with. I know there are people out there that love it. They think that it was robbed by The Last of Us 2 for Game of the Year. I think those people are wrong. This game is solid. It isn't perfect. It's pretty buggy. It reeks of AI-generated face animation, which is my least favorite thing in gaming, really. It looks bad. But they did some free updates before the director's cut, and they kind of fixed a lot of the minute-to-minute gameplay stuff that I had an issue with, and I was like, okay, this is pretty good. But then I did the slog of doing 100%, and after that I was like, okay, I'm kind of done with this game. And then this director's cut came out like a month ago, I think, and I just got it, and I played through the additional content, and it's decent. It's not great. It kind of retcons some things from the original game, which I honestly, it's been too long since I played the original game to know if this is canon, but spoiler alert for Ghost of Tsushima. This isn't a major spoiler, but I mean, it does. No, it gets revealed pretty early in the game. I think it's okay. Jin Sakai's dad dies when he's a very young boy, And I believe, this could be completely wrong, but in the original game, there is another samurai clan that goes rogue and revolts against the shogun. And then I believe in the original game, it's that clan that kills his dad. And so, like, in the original game, you have to, like, work with that clan to overthrow the Mongols, and it's like a big thing. But in this, the director's cut, you're not teleported. You go to a different island that's kind of like a pirate island, and now those pirates are the ones that killed Jin Sakai's dad, and his dad is a dick. I don't know why they did this, because in the original game, like, Jin, like, looked up to his dad, and it was like he was like a perfect samurai, but he kind of had, like, he was a little bit, like, rebellious, kind of like Jin, where he's willing to, like, bend the samurai rules to kind of get what he wanted done, but he was never, like, a bad guy. In this game, he massacres entire, civilian cities that he, like, suspects are, like, smuggling pirates. I was like, okay, this is not really tracking. The story is not the
pirates.
I mean, yeah, that's his reasoning.
No chances taken.
The story is not very good in the director's cut. It's fine. It's okay. The enemies are harder, which is nice. I think the best part is that there's, like, these shrines on the island where you can, if you do, like, a certain action, you can, like, wear an outfit that is inspired by another PlayStation game. So there's, like, a God of War armor set, there's a Bloodborne armor set, and a Shadow of the Colossus armor set. So that's pretty cool. The God of War one has a ridiculously weird looking helmet, so I almost never wear it, but it's pretty funny. Overall, giving it a 2 out of 5. So buy it if you're super into Ghost of Tsushima. If you are a passive Ghost of Tsushima fan, then die, I guess. I don't know.
What are you doing?
Yeah. I just got a text from Paul. Looks like his PC just got shut off, so he will be gone for a little bit, but I don't think he's really going to care about some of this Nintendo news. I would like to get his input on the Mario movie thing, but
We'll save that for last.
we'll save that for last. So I'll go through the Nintendo Direct, kind of go through what happened. I watched it live. It happened at like 5 p.m. Yeah.
That was a weird time.
It was a little weird, but they're doing it on Japan time. We've been kind of spoiled with...
Paul's actually just going to sleep then.
Oh, is that what he said?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
So,
Well, never mind.
Podcast.
This is now a dual podcast. Paul's dead to me, frankly. But I think the first major thing that was announced was that the final new Smash character is getting revealed on October 5th. Honestly, I think it's probably going to be either Master Chief or probably, if I had to guess, probably Alan Wake. But those are just kind of my
I'm thinking
speculations.
the entirety of the Nickelodeon Brawl Star freaking lineup.
That's a good idea. That is coming out the same day.
True.
I
So
forgot
it would
to
be a
mention.
power move, you know?
It is a little bit of a power move.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that game is a Switch exclusive, I think.
Yeah.
They are sabotaging Nickelodeon Brawl Stars.
Personally, I'd play that game over Smash, but
I don't know a thing about it except that
I know the
SpongeBob-
characters more.
Yeah.
And it's
I know.
like a fighting game, so might as well just...
Yeah, play as Zim and kill some
Yeah.
people. So, yeah, that's coming or getting revealed on October 5th. It's that what Mr. Sakurai presents. I think that's what he does, where he kind of breaks down the move set and where everything comes from. They're pretty cool, but I think the only one I watched was for Banjo because that was the last one that I was really interested in. Except for I don't think I watched Minecraft Steve, even though that is pretty funny that happened. I think the next big thing I only noted things that I was interested in, so if there's some weird anime game that you're into that I don't talk about, sorry, because there was a lot of those, like that Project Triangle Strategy thing. I can't believe they kept that name. It said working title was Project Triangle Strategy, and they kept it as Triangle Strategy. The worst part.
I think I fell asleep for 10 minutes because it was all Japanese weeb games.
Yeah.
And, like freaking remasters.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah. It was a little weird. I was not really going in expecting big things.
It's definitely a bottom heavy showcase.
Yeah, yeah. I think most Nintendo Directs are nowadays. Yeah, they started off with the announcement that there was going to be a Smash character released 2 weeks from the Nintendo Direct. Like, that's how they open it, is with an announcement. It's like, that's a little lame. Yeah, whatever. Project Triangle Strategy, you weebs can try it out. Let us know if it's better than Octopath Traveler. The next thing, there was a new Kirby game coming out in spring of 2022. I think I would describe it as 2.5D, which I believe Scott the Waz actually coined that term, which I actually really like. He describes like 3D games that are structured like a 2D game, where it's like you kind of get to the end of a level and you're not like able to like really traverse a lot of axes. That's kind of like what Super Mario 3D Land and World are like. They're in that like 2.5D, and that's kind of, those are the games that kind of came to mind when I saw this Kirby trailer. It looked great. I think graphics wise, I was impressed that the Switch could put out something like that, especially after seeing some of the like Arceus stuff. And then you kind of compare that to this Kirby game, like wowie, wow, 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 if you will. I was a little bit disappointed. There was no new abilities shown. For those of you who have never played a Kirby game, the object is to suck and swallow. That's the point of the game.
Subject in life too.
Well, yeah, I guess if you know where to find it. But there was no new abilities. I think the ones that they showed, there was the sword, the classic sword ability. There was a fire one, I think, and I don't remember what the third one was. But it might have been Cutter, because that's another very iconic Kirby ability. But it's cool to see this 3D Kirby game. I think this is the first, maybe the second 3D Kirby game. I think the Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards is actually the first 3D Kirby game, but I don't know if that's traditional Kirby gameplay. But Kirby kind of gets denigrated to stupid stuff a lot nowadays, where it's
kind
like
of DS game goat.
Yeah.
Goes to DS immediately.
Which I think he is, like, he started off as like a Game Boy.
Yeah, and those were good games.
Yeah, but like I like Superstar, and I liked the Wii one is like Return to Dreamland, I think.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that one a lot. So we'll see how this is.
Looks pretty good.
It looks promising. I'm not the biggest Kirby fan, just period. But whenever there's like a mainstay Kirby game, I'll usually check it out. Even though I think there was one on the Switch already, but nobody really talks about it, so I never really checked it out. So sorry, Kirby fans. Next thing, there's an Animal Crossing New Horizons Direct coming in October with Brewster.
An announcement of the announcement.
The announcement of the announcement. There was a lot of those in this Direct. So I think that's pretty cool.
Pretty hyped up.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll play the game again, but Brewster's pretty cool.
Yeah, I haven't played it since like April of 2020.
It's like the pandemic game, and I'm just not going back to it.
Yeah. I remember it being fine, but
I was addicted to it for about a month, and then
yeah, me too.
things happen.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't really add a whole lot, and it was pretty bare bones on launch. I don't know if they've really fleshed it out any.
Yeah, it was great until you did everything. And then
Yeah,
I didn't have the ambition to make everything like super cool and stuff.
yeah. I'm not very design oriented in that way,
Yeah,
but it was cool. Next thing, KOTOR's coming to Switch.
that was a surprise.
There's been a lot of these. They just ported over Jedi Knight 2 and Jedi Knight Jedi Knight Academy. I don't know. It's like Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. I think is the real name.
Pretty redundant.
Yeah, I know. But Jedi Knight is the series, and then they made a game called Jedi Academy. It's too complicated. But then I don't know if Republic Commando made it over to Switch, but I think Aspire, who we talked about, was the PlayStation Direct last week?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, we talked about Aspire. They're the ones that have been kind of porting old Star Wars games to new consoles, which I'm actually a very big fan of because some of these games are very, very good and they're kind of hard to play unless you have a PC like me, and they're all on Steam. But KOTOR is coming to Switch. Yeah, I guess they didn't want to be out of the loop that PlayStation's getting their KOTOR remake. Let's bring the original to the Switch.
Yeah.
So, whatever. I still won't play it.
And always hip.
Yes. If I was to guess, this is not confirmed. This is probably the mobile port to Switch. But without the UI of a mobile port. But yeah, if you want a really clunky, out-of-date game, play the KOTOR game that is coming to Switch. I have not played KOTOR because it has aged probably the worst out of any game I have played. I know people think that it is not only the best Star Wars game, but I have heard people say that it is the best game of all time. And I cannot get past the first area because the combat is kind of bad. So swing at me, KOTOR stands. I've been saying that a lot this episode. Next up, Metroid Dread, coming out October 8th.
That's pretty soon.
Yeah, got a couple weeks. Not the biggest Metroid fan, but I think this is like the first 2D Metroid game to come out since like maybe like the Game Boy Advance or something. It's been a hella long time. They've made the Metroid Prime games on GameCube and Wii, and they are making Metroid Prime 4. Probably. We haven't heard anything about it for a very, very long time. But we're finally getting a new 2D Metroid game coming out on October 8th, and it looks pretty good. Maybe I'll check it out. As long as it doesn't have stupid Metroid moments. I think Donkey actually coined that term, and I like that a lot because that is what I run to a lot in Metroid games, where it's just like you gotta shoot a very specific tile on the wall that looks identical to all the other tiles on the wall, and that's the only way to advance. It's like, that's a little stupid.
Classic.
Yeah, it's a classic, but I like Metroidvanias more than I like actual Metroid games. I'm not even a big Metroidvania guy. Next up, I think this. I'm not gonna say this is the most controversial thing because the Mario movie thing exists, but this was the most controversial thing to me. I didn't watch anyone react to it or anything, but Nintendo Switch Online is adding N64 and Genesis games. I thought that was a weird curveball, but I guess Nintendo and Sega are not in a fight anymore like they used to be.
Getting that bag together collectively.
Yeah, I guess. Which is, I guess, why they're making this a separate but equal kind of price model. Not separate but equal. That you just have to pay more to get the N64 game. So I don't think they said when that's going to be dropping. I think they said they were going to be releasing more details in October or November or something. But they haven't announced how much more it's going to be. the Nintendo Switch Online is already like $20 a month, so it's pretty like dirt cheap, really, in the grand scheme of things.
Compared to every other system, it is dirt cheap.
Yeah,
Unless you're on a computer.
yeah, true. Where it is free.
But you pay thousands of dollars in parts for a computer. So
yeah, well, yeah, there's that catch. So yeah, you got this. Whatever the additional price is going to be, I don't know how much. I would probably pay $30 a year, but like I don't know, doubling it for N64 and Genesis games.
just recycling the same games for the 50th time on a different console.
Yeah, which there isn't a virtual console on the Switch, so it is cool that they are porting these old games.
It is,
But I don't really like that there's this additional paywall, especially when the NES and the SNES both have, like, you got that for free. It used to be just the Nintendo Switch Online, and then they added the NES games for free, and then they added the SNES games for free, and then when they add the one that everybody wants, they add a paywall to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of stupid. Well, not stupid. It's smart because people are going to pay for it, but it's not very good, you know? And also, like, the lineup wasn't even that, like, amazing. There was, I think the big ones were, you got Ocarina of Time, you got Super Mario 64, you got Mario Kart 64, Yoshi's Story. I don't know how many people like that game, but that's a big one from my childhood. Star Fox. Let me think. I don't have the list pulled up. These are just the ones off rip. I know they said that Majora's Mask is going to be coming soon. I think the sooner you add that, the better. It's kind of stupid to have Ocarina of Time and not Majora's Mask on there because they're direct sequels. They're like the only Zelda to be direct sequels.
The most popular ones.
True. Although Majora's Mask is way too complicated for me, so it's the only 3D Zelda game I have not beaten. There's a whole lot of like time travel stuff involved in that one. It's a little bit too much. But yeah, you got that. And then they announced that there was a whole lot of games that they are planning to release. So that included the Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards, that Majora's Mask. And then the big one, which I was actually really, really surprised to see, is the original Banjo-Kazooie was actually the last one that they showed. I know that Microsoft has been nice and let them use Banjo-Kazooie for Smash, but seeing a Microsoft game on a Nintendo like subscription service is a little bit weird. Not that I'm against it. I'm actually all for it, and I'm glad that it will be getting this platform, hopefully. But I was just surprised to see it as all. And then they announced the Genesis games. Frankly, I've never played a Genesis game. I know everybody's going to hate me because everyone's a huge Echo the Dolphin fan.
Sega Omega Lol. Yeah.
Frankly, Nintendo does what Sega does. No, wait. Sega does what Nintendo doesn't. I think that was the thing. I don't know. I wasn't alive in the 90s. But yeah, they added, like, no, that's a lie because I played the original Sonic game. But I think, like, Sonic 1 was going to be on there. I don't know if the whole Sonic trilogy was going to be on there. Plus Knuckles. You have to add plus Knuckles.
Plus Knuckles.
Hopefully they do add Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. That would be a very welcome addition. I don't know if that was for the Genesis, but they should add it anyway. Yeah, I don't know any of them. I know Echo the Dolphin, Sonic. I don't know. Probably, I don't know, a Bubble Bobble. I don't care. It's a Genesis. They're also releasing wireless N64 and Genesis controllers at the same time, which is cool, but why would anyone want to play on an N64 controller?
I don't know. I don't get the hype behind that controller ever.
I don't know if there's hype for it. I know
Everybody seems to want one.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least it's a collector's item. I don't know how anybody can play with that thing.
You gotta play with the middle one and the right one. I think originally, this is why Nintendo's probably the best gaming company ever. They thought, this is so transformative, you can play 3D games with the middle prong, and then the right parts are going to be used for buttons. And then if you were going to play a 2D game, you could use the D-pad on the left side and then use that as a traditional controller and then just ignore the analog stick. They never did that because 2D games were never really on the N64. So kind of worthless. They could have just made a better controller, which they eventually did with the GameCube controller. But yeah, I grew up with the N64, and I fully admit that the N64 controller is an absolute trash pile of bad controller. So I will not be getting a wireless N64 controller. They're $50, not worth it, frankly. But I think the only plus side to that is that the N64 had the camera controls on buttons, so like the C buttons. And so if you're like trying to do the ocarina playing, which is controlled with the C buttons, and you're doing it with an analog stick, you might accidentally hit right if you're meaning to go up or something. So I could see that being a little bit of an issue. But honestly, that's fine with me. So I don't think there was a date with that, but I'll play Ocarina of Time maybe. I'll have to see how much the price is. So we'll see. But that was announced. Deltarune 1 and 2 is coming to Switch. That was pretty funny. I'm a big fan of Sans Undertale. And then I think we need to address the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So Shigeru Miyamoto came out, and at this point I was thinking, oh boy, this is going to be either Mario Odyssey 2 or just the next 3D Mario game. And then Shigeru Miyamoto says, you guys know that I've been talking with Illumination Animation, the hit films behind the Despicable Me and Sing franchises. And I said, no, Shigeru Miyamoto, I did not know that you were talking with Illumination Entertainment to make a Mario movie. He was like, that is what I'm doing. And today we are going to be announcing the cast. And I think I speak for everyone when I say that the cast for this movie is absolutely
amazing.
Bad. Oh.
I said it.
I said bad. What'd you say?
I said amazing.
Oh.
It's the only reason I'll watch the movie.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna watch it too, but it's gonna be more. I wouldn't watch it if
this wasn't the cast, you know.
You know, I'll just have to wait to see a trailer.
Okay.
I feel a little bad, like saying that I'm gonna watch this movie because that means giving Illumination Entertainment money, and frankly, I think that's honestly worse than a war crime. But I
mean, you can give money to worse companies.
That is true.
Probably more than you can count on your fingers.
Yeah. I did go to a Starbucks this morning while playing Call of Duty Mobile and paying $100 in microtransactions for the new Sims skin. So I guess I am part of the problem. But I just really don't like Minions. Anyways, Chris Pratt is playing Mario. Pretty bad choice. I don't know who you would. I don't know who you pick. Who's your dream Mario cast?
Mario, as Mario.
Just Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
Yeah. He is going to be in the movie.
He's going to be in the movie, but he's not Mario. So why is he in the movie?
I don't know. It's like he's going to be playing different cameos. It's like, just get him to play Mario. Why do you need Chris Pratt, who is, I don't know, just a guy? Like, he doesn't have, like,
he literally is white bread.
Yeah. I mean, he was cast in the Lego movie because he's just an NPC guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good in Guardians of the Galaxy, but that's the reason he's so big.
Yeah.
And now he's just an NPC usually.
Yeah. I mean, he was just, what was that? Passengers, I think? No, that was with Jennifer Lawrence. He was just, The Tomorrow War. That was his new film that everybody hated.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird choice. Anya Taylor-Joy for Peach. She has been blowing up recently.
She really has.
Queen's Gambit. I didn't expect it. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything. I haven't seen Queen's Gambit. I will be seeing Last Night in Soho in about a month, but I haven't seen her in that. I know she sang the song in the trailer, but that's not a very good indicator of what her voice acting prowess is going to be. Honestly, probably fine. I don't really know how much of an impact whoever plays Peach is going to have on the show. Everybody knows that Charlie Day as Luigi is just going to steal the show.
That's going to be amazing.
I think that's a perfect casting.
That's perfect casting right there.
Yeah.
There's no other Mario character that Charlie Day would fit better. Zero.
No. And honestly, I think
one.
I think if like someone were to ask me who would you cast as Luigi if you couldn't cast Charles Martinet, who was in the movie, I just want to keep bringing that up.
Yeah.
But
involved in the process.
Yes. I would probably pick Charlie Day. I think he's a perfect cast for Luigi. He has, well, actually, we were talking about this earlier. I think he would be a better fit as Toad.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, who was played by Keegan-Michael Key, which is the worst cast for Toad. I like Key. I like Key a lot. He is not Toad.
Okay.
He does not have that rasp or like a high-pitched voice at all. It's not going to fit at all. Mario, I'm half black.
Mario, you need to save the princess who is Anya Taylor-Joy.
Come on, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong. Let's go.
I am Donkey Kong.
Banana. Which is another weird one. I don't know who you cast as Donkey Kong. I would probably just like hire like a monkey.
That could be cool.
I think that would be a funny if they
I
just.
feel like you could literally get a really good Donkey Kong casting, though. Like, because we all know Crystal Coconut. Just
right.
That guy.
That would.
Love that
if they brought that guy back, that would like break the internet. I don't even know.
Like Rami Malek played Donkey Kong.
Ooh, that would be so weird.
It would be very weird, but it would be a better pick than Seth Rogen.
We have to go save the banana from Bowser.
Yeah.
Just kind of sleepy Donkey Kong.
Yes.
Kind of just has like a lisp. That would be kind of weird.
Cast Joe Rogan as Donkey Kong.
Oh,
he
that
makes
would be
noises, actually.
That
Maybe they just got the wrong Rogan.
Oh, what if that was a big accident?
Yeah,
I could see it. I could see it. It's Illumination we're talking about.
That'd be a good casting.
Yeah, that would be a good casting. And then there was one more, which I actually don't hate this one, but Jack Black as Bowser. I think that's
Jack Black
good.
Makes sense in a movie this stupid because Jack Black is known for being really funny in stupid movies. So.
Yes, honestly, Jack Black Donkey Kong.
Ooh, yeah.
How is the casting this mishandled?
Yeah.
It's like.
Well, I mean, we know what company we're talking about and how out of touch with reality they always are at all times.
Yeah. It's weird that I think the Sega Sonic movie has a better cast than this Illumination movie does.
And that was weird when that came out.
Yeah. I really like Ben Schwartz as Sonic, which is weird to say, but it's true. And I also like Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman, which is weird to say, but
Jim
true.
Carrey is just a national treasure.
Well, Canadian national treasure.
Canadian
unfortunately.
treasure. International treasure.
Yes. Of course.
North American treasure.
And now Idris Elba as Knuckles.
That's a good casting.
That's a great casting. Yeah. I was surprised he did that. It's going to be weird when we watch The Wire because it's his most serious role. And then Knuckles in Sonic 2. Which, speaking
now that I'm thinking about it, cast John Cena as Donkey Kong.
Ooh, John Cena as Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Frick. Yeah, that's a good one.
That's the move right there.
What's the move with hiring Seth Rogen in animated movies where he doesn't fit? Because he just played Pumbaa, and it's like,
Yeah,
what?
which was good,
I mean,
but
it's
like
fine, but like,
that's a Seth Rogen role.
yeah. I guess my issue is more with the movie itself and Lion
Oh
King's
yeah, but
case.
no, that reveal was the funniest like 2 minutes of
Oh
my
yeah.
my entire week.
I think there was a couple moments where I was like, "Ooh, that's cool." Like I think I said that with, like when Banjo Kazooie got shown, or that Kirby game. I was like, "Ooh, that's nice." And then like for this, I think I actually, now that Paul's not here, I can actually say it. I said, "What the fuck?" audibly when I, like, multiple times while
Yeah.
this was going on. It was very very.
I just started laughing uncontrollably for like a minute and a half out loud, and that doesn't happen very often. And I was
No.
just so surprised about what was showing up on the screen. It looked like it was fake.
Yeah.
It was just banger after banger. First, the Chris Pratt as Mario with that picture, and then he says, "He's so cool."
He's
And
so
like-
cool. But some of that is
And then you get
translation.
Seth Rogen and Charlie Day and everybody else showing up on screen. I'm like, this is a dream.
Yeah, so weird. I was like dashing and writing this down as this was happening, because I'm like, I know we're going to talk about this on a podcast. I knew that this was going to be big. And then there was 3 other people that were announced, but I didn't recognize them, and also they were playing like Magic
Probably
Koopa
good,
and
to be
stuff.
honest.
Yeah, it's probably fine. It'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
But that is coming. Did they give a release date? December 21st, 2022?
Yes.
I don't remember him saying a release date, but I guess that's
Thursday,
what I wrote down.
Yeah, I think that's what they said at the end of it.
Okay. So, yeah. That's coming out next year, holiday season. They said that there is no trailer yet. I saw Chris Pratt. He responded to this on his Instagram, and he was like, "Can't wait to play one of my favorite childhood characters." And then he just said, "It's a me, Mario." Just kidding. That's not the voice. You guys will see the voice later. And it's like, oh, Chris Pratt's gonna do a voice.
Don't do an Italian accent.
Oh, he's gonna do an Italian accent.
Charlie Day doing it would be absolutely hilarious, but I just don't see Chris Pratt pulling off an Italian accent.
I don't really see Chris Pratt as a talented voice actor.
No, I don't either.
No.
Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but Charlie Day's so like emotive, and
True.
I love his voice.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't. Like I've like talked to a lot of people who find his voice annoying, which
I can
kind
definitely
of
see
get.
why.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I love him. I love
Yeah.
Charlie.
It's great.
So I was happy to see him in the movie, even if he's a little bit miscast. Although I think Luigi still fits. I do want to walk that
think
back
it'll
a
be
little
fine.
bit.
Yeah, they should have cast him as Mario. It was just a massive power play.
Yeah. I guess Chris Pratt does have that star power. He was in the Lego movie as the lead guy in that, and he's been kind of a hot Chris, if you will.
Hot Chris.
Yes, there's a couple of those.
Mm-hmm.
So now Chris Pratt as Mario and Chris Evans as Buzz Lightyear are going to be coming out in the same year.
This is mayhem.
Oh, whoa, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
So yeah, that was coming. That was a big.
Corporate entertainment is at an all-time high right now.
It sure is. We still haven't seen anything about that Buzz Lightyear movie, and it's supposed to come out in summer of 2022. Except for that one picture, but we haven't seen a trailer or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that will probably get delayed, or there will be a trailer dropping tomorrow. That's how it works.
Knowing our timing, there will be a trailer that we will discuss next week.
Yes. In another who asked for this news, I just put Splatoon 3.
Literally nobody asked for that one.
Yeah. I was surprised. They gave it so much screen time. It was probably like 5 minutes.
Too.
Yeah. I was like, oh. They gave it like...
Nobody wants a Splatoon 3.
No, there's already Splatoon 2 on the Switch. Why is there's not a need for this?
Not even Splatoon players want a Splatoon 3.
There's Splatoon players?
The very few Splatoon players don't need another game.
No, they don't. They're happy in their own bubble.
Yeah.
But I do like the lead developer guy. He takes it so seriously. It's so funny. The guy who's in the lab coat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked him.
I love that guy.
Unfortunately, he's making Splatoon, so that's
Yeah.
you know, you got Joseph making the
Look, you gotta
fun
learn
two-player
before
games.
creating masterpiece.
Oh, for sure. But he's gonna probably keep making Splatoon. He's gonna be like the EGI Anuma, where he's like making Zelda forever. He's just gonna keep pumping out these Splatoon
Well,
games.
Nintendo told them they want a Call of Duty competitor, and he said, "I bet." So there's gonna be probably 13 of these,
Yeah,
at least.
this isn't though. Like, it's not at all a Call of
Well,
Duty
knowing
competitor.
Nintendo, they think it is because they're incredibly out of touch.
Yeah, I know this. That like when Splatoon 1 came out, like Shiggy Miyamoto was like this is our first shooter and we're taking it very seriously, and it's like a game where you shoot paint at the floor.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all you can do with the freaking Nintendo controls, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, I think like if you're marketing it for a younger audience, they're not going to know how to aim, so make the objective everywhere.
I don't know. These kids are cracked nowadays.
That's true. But I think it's like younger than the Call of Duty audience.
Probably.
You know? I think it's like kids, which is fine. But and then the last thing that they talked about is that Bayonetta 3 got a trailer. They announced this ish back in 2017. Frankly, I don't care about
They
it.
were proud of it.
They were proud of it. It was their closer. Right
I
after
just
the
like
Mario
that.
movie.
Yeah, which everybody was still in shock from.
Yes.
And they're like, this game has been in development since 2017, and
No.
we need to put that out there for some reason.
No, they announced it in 2017.
Oh, okay.
We haven't heard anything about it since 2017. So that's why they made a note of it.
Weird flex.
It's a weird flex because it's like, we took 4 years to give you guys a trailer.
Yeah. Not even Last of Us 2 put us through that much pain.
No.
We at least got trailers.
That being said, Metroid Prime is probably still that long. Metroid Prime 4 has still just been announced for like a couple years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Bayonetta 3 coming out next year. So I'm not really a big hack and slash kind of man, but for those Devil May Cry Bayonetta boys, I know y'alls are excited for this. So that is coming out next year. And that is all that's in the Nintendo Direct news. This is going to be a long podcast.
Yep.
We still have music stuff to get through.
Oh my god, we do.
I only have one music thing, so I'll just get through it real fast before you can take it over. I just wanted to talk about the Lil Nas X Jolene cover. Going back to his country roots a little bit, Lil Nas X covering the hit Dolly Parton song Jolene, best played at 33 RPM.
Oh yeah.
Very. I think that's an old head kind of joke. Like I only heard about it because I worked at a record store, and like the people that worked there were like, "Have you heard Jolene?" "Yeah, I've heard Jolene." "Have you heard it played at 33 RPM?" Like, no, I have not.
Slowed and reverbed.
It pretty much is the slowed and reverbed of that generation, but honestly, it is better. Which is, it's so weird to say, but like there are digital 33 RPMs that are on like YouTube and stuff. I would recommend listening to those because it is pretty good.
Every 45 that I have that I've played on 33 is like actually pretty good.
You're not supposed to do that, but
You're not supposed to, but
Yeah.
I've done it on accident a couple times because they don't indicate that it's 45 RPM.
oh yeah.
So I would like accidentally do it the first time I play it, but then it kind of slaps.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. I think like whenever we would sell a Jolene single, it would get sold immediately because people will just like hoard them because like it'll get ruined after like a certain amount of plays.
Playing it wrong.
So they'll have them like stockpiled so they can listen to it at 33 over and over and over again. But enough about that. Lil Nas X did a cover of the original song, not the 33 RPM version. Unfortunately, although his voice kind of fits.
I mean, his voice kind of sounds like it.
Yeah, he was doing that like Old Town Road vocal thing where he was like really kind of low in that Southern register kind of singing, which was pretty good. I enjoyed the cover a lot. What did you think, huh?
That was like,
Yeah, I mean it's not. I don't know if it's better than the Dolly Parton version, but
No, I don't think anything will be. But I know Miley Cyrus also did one that was
she sure did.
pretty good.
I have not listened to it, but I am aware. I think Dolly Parton is her godmother.
Yeah,
I think there's a connection there.
probably.
But yeah, that was all I wanted to talk about, is that there was
Okay.
a cover by Lil Nas X. So
No
you
way.
can go ahead.
My turn.
Yeah.
What do we get this week? We got West Side Gun. We got Sufjan Stevens and
Oh,
Angelo
yeah.
DeAugustine and Blue.
By Joni Mitchell.
Yep.
Okay.
Guess we'll start with West Side Gun. Hitler Wears Hermes 8. B-side. Second half. It is an hour and 3 minutes long. And the first part is 40 minutes long. So it's an hour and 40-minute album if you put them together.
Wow.
Dude just decided, like, okay, I'll just drop a whole fleshed out body of work again. It's good being a Griselda fan. 'Cause it's like every month you get a quality project without fail.
Mm-hmm.
This month we just happen to get 2, I guess. But I do like this side B better than side A. I think in the interviews he was doing, he said he wanted more of a traditional Griselda project on the A side, which is true with the features. They're all those underground street rap kind of guys. And then side B, he got Tyler the Creator, 2 Chainz, Jay Electronica, a whole bunch of people.
Oh.
So many freaking features, all used pretty well. He's Kanye level and getting features. Actually, he's just Kanye level and freaking arranging albums, to be honest.
Yeah.
But dude's got the Dr. Dre touch when it comes to executive producing. Even this is his own record, but he is like the most selfless man in hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
Similar to a Donda situation where he lets people shine and sets them up for success. He's fantastic, but he holds his own on this one pretty well. It starts with like 2 opening tracks. So it's just a gigantic opening credit scene, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Just getting you ready for the album. And then Hell on Earth Part 2 is the Griselda cut that is on every single West Side Gun album with the 3 boys. And it hits very hard. It could just be because the 5 minutes of build-up for like actual rapping to start. But man, does it punch you in the face. I haven't gotten that since like Pray for Paris with the West Side Gun album, where it literally just knocks you out. Then the next song has Jay Electronica on it, which was interesting to hear on this Griselda production that's super grimy and piano heavy. He doesn't have the features listed, so I'm kind of hating him right now since I can't call out every track and who's on it.
Yeah.
But Makami's got 2 features. I think he had 2 features on the A side as well. But Makami is one of my favorites of the year. Those 2 mesh so well together.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, this thing is definitely better than the first side. I think this is his best since Pray for Paris. I don't know what he's doing next, if he's going to make more albums or if he's just going to... I know he's talked about a lot, just executive producing and arranging records for people.
Mm-hmm.
I think he said the Jadakiss album he wants to hook up with and make one, which that would be incredible if he can do that.
Mm-hmm.
But he's got that ear for beat selection and arrangement that not a lot of people have right now, where you can just always make something that's just quality no matter what, and whoever he's working with, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
But hopefully he doesn't go anywhere because his popularity is peaking, especially with the Donda feature and everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw a lot of people tweet about it.
Yeah. Pretty great. So, again, quality album. Not one I'd listen to all the way through a lot, just because it is an hour and 40 minutes of material with the 2 albums. But definitely a lot of standout tracks.
Yeah.
Sufjan Stevens and Angelo DeAugustine released A Beginner's Mind after the 6 singles, I think.
Yeah, I think 6.
Because they did 2 packs
Yeah.
3 times, I think.
Yeah.
This thing is as good as I thought it was going to be. Just knowing all 6 singles were great. Everything else is great, which should be to expected.
Yeah.
I mean, just beautiful. It's a lot more laid back and mellow than other Sufjan albums, which kind of what I want from him right now after last year's The Ascension, where it is just like a very, very long, more electronic album than folk. But
Yeah.
these two are a good combo. I got a lot of Simon and Garfunkel type sounds from it.
Okay.
Reminded me of that quite a bit.
Mm.
Yeah, they mesh really well together. I think they are label mates, and they like kind of sat down and made this on a whim. I think every song is based off of a movie because they would watch like old movies and then write a song about it the next day.
Oh, right. Yeah, there was a lot of like movie references in the single packs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got like Night of the Living Dead. I don't have all of them pulled up because Genius doesn't have all of them listed yet, but there's a lot of movies that they reference.
Yeah.
Wizard of Oz, obviously.
Yeah.
But in terms of Sufjan albums, this is definitely in his top tier, I would say. I haven't gotten too much time to listen to it, like just sitting down and listening to it yet. But because it is so mellow, it's kind of gets taken over by other things in my playlist. But
Yeah.
every song I've heard is pretty great. Back to Oz, really hitting. Reach Out. Sumerian Shade is beautiful. Lost in the World. Yeah, just very quality music.
Good stuff. Yeah, I'll have to check that one out.
Mm-hmm. I think everything's pretty much single quality. There's one or two tracks that kind of aren't that single quality, but 2 out of 14 being slightly less than amazing isn't a bad thing.
But that's a pretty good run.
If you want to chill out, just not feel good music, but like, it's just beautiful music and it's easy to listen to.
Yeah.
So they accomplished their goal.
Good. I was going to ask you how that was.
Yeah. Definitely worth it.
Good.
I don't know where I'm putting it yet, but I'll worry about all that crap later.
Yeah.
And then Blue dropped an album, which I kind of knew about. Didn't realize it was coming out. There's been too many release dates. But him and Exile did Miles last year. The hour and 40-minute freaking long boy. I think I put this in my top 10, maybe. I think it was just out of top 5 last year. But incredible jazz rap album that focused on Miles Davis and sampled him a lot. It was really, really great. Blues kind of had a resurgence. He is kind of like the underground king, or one of them, in the jazz rap area. But he's had a pretty good resurgence. This one's The Color Blue. Every single song samples a song that is about like blue. So every song that you can think of that has the title or the color blue in the title, he samples pretty much.
Does he sample Blue Dabu Dee Dabu Die?
No, but he does sample Mr. Blue Sky. So
Oh, okay.
close. That one was a really good flip. I think Exile has production, and then I think Surplus was the other main producer. But production's top notch, super sunny. Blues albums are always a good change of pace because they're underground rap without being a lot of like what the other underground rap I listen to is, which is very ear to the streets, very kind of grimy and real, which Blue gets, but most of his stuff is mainly positive and it's very sunny.
That's good.
But production on here is great. I love that I'm able to pick out samples immediately, like on a record, especially after Injury Reserve and Arm & Hammer. Those samples are always so obscure.
Yeah.
But we had the Blue World Mac Miller sample that he used on here. They reused that one in a very different way. Mr. Blue Sky, I think there was a Beatles song that they sampled. I don't know how they got clearance for all these, to be honest.
I don't know.
But I'm not going to question it. But blues rapping is great. He's got kind of a New York 90s kind of style, even though he's from the West Coast. But it's just kind of that rap music you put on that's pretty easy listening. The samples hit hard and you just nod your head to it the whole time subconsciously.
Yeah.
So I would say check it out. It's very quality. I don't think it's as good as Miles, but it's not as like long as Miles, so it's easier for me to listen to. Because I think we have Miles on our list, or on my list somewhere.
Do we?
Yeah. It's just very long.
Is it just His name is just Blue?
It's hard to look for on Spotify, yeah. It's just BLU.
B-L-U. B-L-E-U? Or
Nope,
U-E?
just BLU.
Oh, B-L-U. Gotcha. Wait, what was the album called?
Just do Miles, and then you can click on his name through there.
Miles. Oh, Blue in Exile. That's right. You were talking about this. Yes, the color blue.
And every song is hard to pick out because every single song has the name in it. So,
yeah, I'm a big fan of jazz rap. I love Tribe Called Quest. Low End Theory, I guess that's the only one I've listened to. Right now,
this one has more of that boom bap kind of thing. But big fan of jazz rap in all of its facets. So, but this one's very easy listening jazz rap. Some of this newer jazz rap will get people with really quick flows and off kilter stuff, but blues just good mood rap music.
Good. That's what we need right now.
A good difference. Yeah. From between that and the Little Sims record, I got good positive hip hop for a while.
Yeah, there you go.
Between all of the Arm & Hammers and West Side Guns and, Injury Reserves.
Yeah.
It's a good trade-off. But those are the three main things that came out this week. And this is the last Friday of September. So we made it through the month.
Nice.
I can confidently say this was the best month for music this year.
Yeah, probably.
So many albums.
Yeah.
I think of last year, too. I think this is the best month of music of the past 2 years, I would say.
I don't remember.
I don't remember a month being this big last year. 2019, there might have been something, but I don't remember.
I don't know. I don't think I was as ear to the ground with music stuff last year. I knew that, like, I listened to Childish Gambino's record and Folklore and Evermore and After Hours. But I don't think I listened to... and Joji's thing.
Yeah, that was like July or something. They were all kind of spread out.
Yeah.
But this one was just every single weekend had a major artist release. At least one major artist release.
Yeah.
But I think we started... Donda wasn't even in September. It was like the Sunday before September.
Really?
Yeah. So if Donda would have been in September, this would have been the best music month probably in long recalling memory. But Donda came out right before. We had the Little Sims album, which is incredibly quality, followed by the Baby Keem album, Casey Musgraves album, the Injury Reserve album,
Montero,
Lil Nas X, Sufjan Stevens, West Side Gun. Yeah, definitely the best month for music. And a lot of these are like in my top 10. So
yeah, we got a lot of good stuff.
Kind of crazy, but now hopefully it slows down a little bit. I know there's a lot of major artists that are still rumored to release an album before the year's out.
Kendrick.
Yes. Give me like 2 weeks, Kendrick, before you start your rollout. I need to catch up and really appreciate these because I feel like every single time I have an album I really like, another one comes out in literally 3 days.
Yeah.
And then I'm just hyper focused on that one instead.
Give you some time to digest it a little bit.
Yeah. Especially with all the albums that came out that need to be digested and are impossible to in a short period of time. So
yeah.
Music segments shouldn't be as long from here on out this year, probably.
Oh.
I don't see any month topping this one.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably not. I don't know really what else is going on.
Unless we got like the Travis Scott album, the Kendrick album, the Weeknd album, and the JID album in 1 month.
Oh.
That might top it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is the Weeknd coming out though?
I don't know if he's gonna drop this year or not.
I mean, the
seemed like he was
disco
ready
song.
to like hit the go button on the freaking rollout, but
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he will.
Well, we'll see. We'll report
I'm still
on
like
it.
really enjoying After Hours, so I don't need one this year.
No, not really.
I'll take one.
But it would be a nice Evermore to After Hours Folklore.
Yes.
because I think both of those albums are pretty interchangeable when it comes to quality and general vibe. So if he was to make like an After Hours,
Seems like
2,
the Dawn's going to be like that as well. So very possible.
That would be great. And maybe release it before we go see him, because I'd like to see
That would
some
be
of those
great.
songs
Yeah.
live.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah. But I guess that would be most of. That's all I have. That's all the notes
That's all
I
I
have. Yeah. Let me double check. Yeah, we are all good. All the notes have been covered. I knew this was going to be a long one. I didn't expect a 2-hour long episode.
Yeah. That'll happen.
I would just like to point out that I did make an oopsie in the Black Parade video. Someone called me out on it. Rightfully so. I said that John Deacon of Queen fame, he was the bassist of Queen, he was dead. He's not dead. He's just not in the band anymore.
He's just dead to you.
He's dead to me.
Yeah.
I honestly didn't know that. I thought he did die. Nope, still alive, 70.
Okay.
He I think he just left Queen. The comment says he left the band after Freddie died. So, which not entirely true. Looks like he stuck around for like 5 years, but just calling out that I did do an oopsie when we were talking about Queen and
record.
the Black Parade. Yeah. So I did. I responded to the comment.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah. But, after Freddie died, there was only 3 members.